Well, hello and welcome back. This is Patty, founder of Open Owl, and tonight we're going to be talking a little bit about why it is good to rest. I'm glad that you're here and hope you enjoy what we talk about tonight. And I've lit our little candle for tonight. I'm so grateful that you're here. Like I said, tonight I was going to talk about a permission to pause when rest is a power move. All right, so we've all been there, right? Feeling like we're totally lazy and what's wrong with me? I'm so tired and I don't want to do anything. And you're feeling lazy and irresponsible. But sometimes you're healing in ways that you need the rest. And it looks like you're being lazy and you feel kind of guilty about it, but really you're doing yourself a favor and everyone else around you. You can't be your best when you need to rest. And you have to rest first so that you can be your best. And that goes against a lot of what we were taught growing up, where even if you're sick, you still go to work or you still do all those things. But the thing is, eventually it kind of catches up with you and you become really depleted and you wonder, what's wrong with me? And it's not really you. It's that your body needs the rest and maybe even your soul. So there have been a few times in my life where I was really upset about having to rest. Of course, I've talked a little bit about having Lyme disease, and I was homeschooling 4 kids, had a lot of things to do, and I was I was really, like I couldn't think. I was in a lot of pain. Sometimes my head would hurt so bad that there was no way I could do anything. And I kind of remember laying in bed and just in so much pain and feeling just really quite terrible. And I almost felt like I just wanted to lean out my window and just disappear because I felt so bad about not being a good mom and wife and friend. And at that moment, I almost felt like I could see Jesus's feet and kind of a light above me. I mean, sorry, this kind of sounds a little woo-woo, but I think I was so in so much pain. I think maybe I was almost having a dream. And it gave me that feeling like, Patty, you can rest. You need rest. You need to heal. And gosh, it almost makes me want to cry just thinking about that because it was, like I said, it was really difficult for me. I don't know if you can relate, but it was really, really hard. But once I took that the attitude on, I think I started to recover. I was really into knitting at that time, which I don't have time now to do that, but it was kind of enjoyable. But I kind of remember taking some of my knitting and just kind of throwing it into a corner and just saying, right now is not I can't I can't do all of this stuff. And I kind of released something from myself by doing that. By saying I can kind of let a lot of things go so that I can recover. It was a very difficult time, but my body was telling me what it needed and I had a hard time listening, of course. So I think that's kind of a a cultural thing. We have this idea we need to hustle, we need to get out there and accomplish things and do things, and it's almost becomes part of our self-worth. And if we're not doing those things, then we feel, I don't know if what word describes that, but useless, maybe not being who we're supposed to be in this world. All kinds of different things come up and really negative things. But it becomes something that then there's layers and layers and layers of that gets laid on with the negative self-talk and then making you feel worse and the putting yourself down and making you even worse. And it contributes to all kinds of things even within your body. Your whole well-being depends on how you're feeling about yourself. So it's very important to take that time. And I'm just saying this to you because it was something that I learned kind of the hard way, honestly. And maybe me saying this will help you go, oh, I won't do that same thing because it winds up being worse than you can imagine. Rest is not something you do because you worked hard, but it's something that you do hopefully on a daily basis. Even first thing when you wake up isn't just to hit the ground running, but to maybe sit and breathe deeply 3 times on the side of your bed, or do something that allows you to transition from resting into something else. I mean, I know we live in a world where things go fast, and if you can just take those 3 deep breaths in situations like that and know that there's nothing and nobody that has the right to tell you or show you or be a way to you that gets you out of what you need for yourself. So let's just bust the myth of having to go fast all the time and grind hard and all that kind of stuff. Let's just look at that and say, honestly, it doesn't wind up doing what is expected from it, which is to get ahead and be successful. A lot of times success does not come from pushing hard. It's kind of a theme, isn't it? But sometimes pushing hard only makes things more difficult in the long run. So I have a few questions for you to reflect on about rest. What would that look like? What would rest look like to you if you could do it without feeling guilty? Maybe take some time to write that question down and journal about it a little bit. What would it look like for you to trust yourself that you need rest and to take a pause? What would that add to your life and to your well-being? And then what becomes possible when you care for yourself without guilt? If you want to write this down, what becomes possible when you take care of yourself without feeling guilty? So for the next 24 hours, I want you to use this opportunity to integrate resting and allowing yourself to rest without guilt just one time. Well, thanks for sharing this moment with me. If something in today's episode sparked a shift or gave you space to breathe, I'd love to hear about it. And remember, transformation doesn't happen all at once. It happens in the quiet, courageous steps you take every day. Until next time, be kind to yourself. You're doing better than you think.